What? In the TCG, card demise banned, but is legal in the TCG? Is this what would happen in Master Duel if we were to use the TCG ban list? Runic Stun would freaking come back? Oh my gosh, what have I done?
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Begin. Upstart the Goblin into our Runic Tip. If Duel were popular, then, you know, we'd be chaining Runic Tip to a Duel being activated. We have Runic Fountain plus our Fossil Dyna. This card is limited to 1. I think it's not restricted whatsoever within TCG. We're attempting to draw 2 cards here. Ash Blossom, negate, as we use our Runic Slumber Mate, which would turn it into a draw 3. Now, of course, it's just getting negated, so all is well. Negate. Is this going to be good enough? We do get the Runic Fountain to additionally draw some cards here. Draw 2. We have a negate, a search, which could be another form of disruption. We also have the ability of the fossil, which you can't special summon. How do we out this? 1200 attack. Well, we could normal summon 16, but with the Runic Tip, we could search for a slumber to make it so we are not destroyed or you cannot declare an attack. That's a big problem. Uh-oh, it's happening. Runic Tip into the slumber. We're also randomly losing cards off the top of our deck. I think we just lost a 1-of with the trap. Further, 3 more cards off the top. We're gonna draw some cards. We should just speed this up. Maybe Konami should not copy the TCG ban list 1 for 1. There's probably a lot more effort they should do. Now, does DK not know that the TCG ban list is balanced around the existence of side deck? You would think and hope that it is, but very likely, knowing Konami, it probably isn't. But the side deck does make a ban list like this more balanced. Nibiru is now pulled from our deck because we know it's not going to be summonable or usable. Let's just thin out our deck. That is fine. Runic Destruction, pop our back row. We got lots of interesting hand traps here. Well, it is a hand trap deck because you could pull hand traps off the top of your deck, then add them to your hand. If we actually get to see what this deck does, Materiactor. Synchro Zone, isn't that card banned? It's limited to 1. Wow. What's we could do when we get to go first? We do nothing. That I don't think does anything important. It targets a goblin in your graveyard if this card is summoned. Yep, that's definitely a problem. This is what happens when you have an extender that's not also a starter, which probably means you're just not a top tier deck. Let's curses, negate their monster, and only if it is negated do we get to also banish cards off the top of their deck. Let's draw 2, let's speed this up. Runic Fountain, return cards as we use the Ogre. Let's go, just like that. Now, they had a Fossil Dyna on the field, right? Normally, they would chain summon a Hugin to protect their field spell from being destroyed, but their own Fossil Dyna stopped them from protecting their field spell. Damn. Let's go. Full loss is going to be in response to you attempting to summon from your extra deck. Now, you can circumvent the full loss if you really want to stop them from drawing a card by chaining another runic card to summon instead, and then the first one no longer works. Let's draw into our Jackalope. Let's discard away our full loss. Ash is going to negate. We didn't have a chain link block, mate. Not today. No field spell for you. We do have Goes and Match. We have Pot of Duality to maybe just draw into the field spell. Well, we actually can't Duality because the turn we special summon, we can't activate this. Can't summon after, can't summon before, no special whatsoever. Jackalope, special summon itself onto the field, randomly draw a card here. We have Materiactor. Now, Goes and Match is here. What is the Goes and Match doing? You can only control dark monsters in your dark monster deck. Okay, sure. Well, I guess that's a water. Are the Materiactors all random attributes? Hugin's going to return herself back into the extra deck. Are we going to use the Slumber within the end of the turn? We perform a Dark Exceed. That is perfectly fine. During your opponent's main phase or battle phase, you could add one card attached to this back to your hand, which ideally would be a hand trap. Duality, dig in our deck for that runic tip. Just the tip as we search our deck further. We're going to chain, add a card that's attached back to our hand. Let's speed this up a little bit. Add back the Gigadra. Here comes our Runic Fountain. With our Runic Fountain, we could activate the Slumber, but We know the Ogre is ready to pop the Fountain. We don't have a way to chain summon the Huggin. We're also under the negative effect of the duality, thus we can't even special summon if we wanted to. And this is also not being chain link blocked. That's a ripperoo, yes? Ogre, destroy. No draw 3. Can't draw 3. Destroyed. You're out of here. How many Runic Fountains are allowed in the TCG? As in Master Duel, it is limited to 1. We have Ghost Bell. Now, unfortunately, we have Synchro Zone. Neither player can declare attacks except with Synchro monsters. Thus, we need, let's say, a Link monster to destroy that. But then it would have to be a Dark monster because Goes unlocks us in a Dark only. Do we have an out? We can't even attack to even go into Zeus. Zeus would be illegal under Goes in. Do any of these Exceeses that are Dark pop back row? Probably not. Do we have any inherent back row removal in our main deck? Despite us taking out their field spell, stopping them from searching the field, we're scooping. I'm sorry. Thanos, I would like to extend my apology to you. This was not my intention. All I wanted was for Malice and Ryzeal to be less viable, with Maxi also being banned. Not this. This is not what I wanted. Not intended. Let's see what's good. Maybe Punk is one of the top tier decks of today's event. We're going to search for our Shirakusai. Shirakusai is not going to be normal summon, whereas we're going to summon a Wagon instead, searching for the field spell. We're now going to be activating the Deer Note, special summoning itself from the hand onto the field. We're now going to activate Full Loss before they perform a summon from the extra deck. We're going to use the Extreme Session to summon a monster from the hand. We're going to Shirakusai, summon from the extra deck a monster that wants to further summon from the deck, but under the effect of Full Loss. We did not imperm before it activates because we were maybe thinking they would not activate it due to the effect of Full Loss, as we have Punk Seaman searching for the Rising Scale, additionally drawing into a random Ash Blossom here. We got the Narawashi Surprise for a form of disruption. Soul Blaze Dragon, I don't know what that does. What the heck? This card's special summon. You could special summon a face-up Pendulum from your extra deck. If this card is in your graveyard, you could banish 2 other monsters to special summon this card back onto the field. Is this just for synchro climbing? What do we do with this? So we now have the Amazing Dragon. Do we not care about Full Loss or what? We're just continually special summoning under it. Again, draw. As we, what the heck? Bish Balkan is banned. In Master Duel, that is. Were we gonna first turn kill or what? Imperm, negate. What the hell, mates? Wow. Okay. We have a monster negate. We have the ability to destroy a card. We could Ash negate an interaction with the deck about triple form disruption. Does Bish Balkan even do anything during the opponent's turn? During either player's main phase, you could special summon tokens. Okay, sure. Can not be destroyed by card effects while it's at 4,000 attack indestructible. That could be quite an issue. We're going to pop away the Shirakusai before it activates to fuse. We're going to use the Foxy Tune, attempting to summon for the deck. We're going to negate the Foxy Tune. Now, discarding another card from your hand is not a cost, thus we don't -1 on the effects being negated. Triple Tactics Talent. We're going to take control. Well, I'm going to chain Bish Balkan, which is going to be summoning a bunch of tokens. Token for you. Again, another token. Wow. Huh? That's a lot of tokens. Take control of nothing. Wow. Completely blocking the Triple Tactics Talent. That is insane. Rising Scale is going to be banishing from the graveyard to special summon itself onto the field. We're going to Jam Fever with our final form of disruption to negate. No summon for you and gets destroyed. Ending the turn. Wow. Bish Balkan, 11,000 attack. The Almirage could jump off the field, though. So, I think we got a little too excited there. Whoops. Okay, main phase 2. Reprodokus. We're going to change the token into a fire, a pyro. We're now going to Odd Eye Soul Blaze, reborn itself from Engrave. Further turn these 2 bodies into the Proxy F Magician to fusion summon with our field. Let's make a Link Spider here. And the Link will now be turning into the Barricade Blocker, as we now activate diffuse the blocker and the token into a Blaze Phoenix. Blaze Phoenix burns 300 for each card on the opponent's side of the field. Only the opponent, right? No, each card on the field. Both sides. Ash, negate the Rising Scale from summoning from the deck. Negate. Now, the Blazing Phoenix is not a hard once per turn activation, so you ideally, you burn, You send it away, you reborn it back with Promethean, then you burn again. But double 33 is not game. Surely we don't have another way to reborn it back, right? After the second burn, 800 life, blink in red. Let's further go into the Zealantis, which is a third way to summoning. It banishes it, it comes back on the field, it burns for a third freaking time. Now, there aren't tokens on the field, so the burn's gonna be for less, but if we at least have 3 bodies on the field, which we do, or I should say 3 cards, 1,800 damage. Blaze Phoenix Bish Balkan first turn kill is here. Let's go. Let's hit them with an early Pirellia. Pirellia is going to be great against Ryzeal, which should still be a prevalent deck within today's event, despite the hits. We're going to send from the deck the Engraver. Let's go into the Requiem. Requiem, activate some for the deck. Ash, negate. We have Imperm. We have Nibiru. We have Duel. We saw plays as we resummon the Engraver back on the field. Requiem equip onto it. Send both to summon our Necroquip Princess, which could still work off of the opponent. If a card is sent from the hands of the grave to activate a card effect, that's going to allow us to now draw a card. Now, it has to more specifically send a monster to activate the effect. So that would be Foxy tunes a monster, sending itself to activate an effect. Thus, we get to draw off the princess, maybe into another hand trap. Trigger, draw, into not a hand trap. We have Imperm, Nibiru, Droll, triple disruption here. Let's hit him with the Droll. No more adding for the rest of this turn. As we share Kusai, activate Diffusion Summon, Imperm, negate, no Fusion Summon with the hand or field, which would then result into the fusion that summons 2 bodies from the deck. Not today, as we now just have Nibiru. And as I said in another duel, Nibiru should be one of the most prevalent hand traps in today's event. Since we don't have Maxi to keep people in check, Fool will also be another card to help keep people in check from over special summoning. And with no Apollo USA, there's no real good way to negate the Nibiru. Let's make a Requiem. Requiem's going to summon from the deck into Crimson Tier. I think the power of Nibiru going up is one of the more exciting things of today's event with the TCG ban list, which is I would very much like to see within Master Duel. I think any format where Nibiru is good is a good, healthy format. Let's grab from our deck a Share Kusai, as we're now going to further go, Fusion Summon it up into our Rising Carp, which will summon from the deck. Come forth from the deck into our Dear Note and the Madame, grabbing our Marawashi Surprise. Let's Extreme Session, draw a card every time we activate to use our effect, at the cost of life points, that is. Let's jam, search our deck for level 3, which could be a Ogre if we want. We're going to Rising Carp, reborn itself back onto the field with the effect of the Dear Note. We're going to grab the Punk Seaman instead. We're going to use the Session to further draw a card, as we now have the Jam Fever to Omni Negate. Rising Scale, banish from the grave to come forth and summon, which will now be activating to summon from the deck or graveyard, that is, as we now make an Amazing Dragon, which can reborn from the grave or bounce cards on the field back to the hand. Let's bounce all 3 cards, as the Rising Carp gives us the ability to attack more than once per turn, as the Punk Seaman further gives us an additional 600 attack. And just like that, 3,600 double attack, more than enough for lethal damage, as the Jam Fever can negate any potential hand trap here. Lethal damage. Very nice. All right. No Maxi. Maxi is not allowed. Let's go. Ogre Dance, searching our deck for the Punk Seaman. We have a Monster Negate, and the Share Kusai during the opponent's turn is a quick effect to perform a Sync or Summon into our form of Disruption, which could be an Amazing Dragon to bounce cards on the field back to the hand. Can we play through 2? Let's see. Crimson Tier, our normal summon is here. We're going to be negated on sending a card from the deck to the grave. No access to the Engraver. I very much disagree with this play unless we're going to use 2 disruptions on it to also get rid of it. If they still have a way to make a Requiem to summon from the deck, then I think this is not really so much a good idea, but it also destroys. So it getting rid of it. So I was incorrectly thinking it was just negating and not destroying. So if it also gets rid of it, great. No Requiem, no send from the deck Engraver. Do we have a follow-up play? Well, we have the Jam Session, and we have the Ogre Dance searching for the Wagon. We're going to special summon it by banishing the Ogre Dance from Engrave, then end the turn. What? That's all we could do? We didn't have the Rising Scale play, right? Isn't Rising Scale a play search the Seaman, summon Seaman, and then search your deck for the Rising Scale, then special summon it? I believe so, right? But he did say his Twitch chat was screwing with him. Let's Extreme Session, banish to summon the Deer Note from the hand, as we're going to Jam Dragon, as we're going to Deer Note, further reborn a monster from Engrave, which will be our Amazing Dragon, searching for a Punk Seaman. We're going to draw a card. Let's reborn a monster Engrave. Over 10,000 damage on the field, 11,000 damage, searching for the chap, as we're now going to make a Psychic End Punisher. Psychic End, boost to 6,500 when you declare an attack onto the wagon or target with a card effect will activate to draw a card. Lethal damage 6,500. Let's go. 2-1. Game 1 with the Blaze Phoenix first turn kill victory. Very nice. This is going to be our first turn kill versus Ryzeal Melodious. Let's see what's good. With the TCG ban list, Maxi banned, Detonator is limited to 1, which is not that crazy, but if you want to play Metaltronus now, it's a bit more viable in today's event if you get rid of their 1 of Ryzeal Detonator. Begin. Even playing Kashtira Unicorn should be a better card in today's event. Unicorn, rip Detonator, and it's 1 and done. We're going to activate the Fool Loss early within the turn. We do have Meows ready for a potential Malice matchup in today's event, as we're going to use the Refrain, searching for the Cannon Melodious, as we're going to special summon our X Ryzeal, searching our deck for the Sword. With the Ryzeal Cross, we're going to special summon the Sword Ryzeal, searching for the Star. And for the 5th summon to play around Nibiru, we're going to go into our Ryzeal Detonator. Ryzeal Detonator on summon is going to equip the Aggregator from Engrave. We're going to detach off the Detonator to summon the Star to set into the back row our Plasma Hole. Do we want to further commit under the effect of the Fool Loss? Of course we do, summoning our Baguska. As we're going to triple Tactics Thrust, set whatever we want from our deck. Now, because it has a chance to also add from the deck if a monster were to be summoned onto the field, we're going to negate. No set from the deck, mate. All non-links on the field are negated. That's it. We scooped a Baguska, or was it the Ryzeal? Was it a combination? I think we scooped a Baguska. Damn. Under Fool Loss. And they have an Ash negate the teleport. So would Punk Seaman... Oh, we don't negate. We allow it to go through. They also have an Impermanence, though. Ash Imperm will surely stop whatever the first turn kill attempt we make. Wagon will, in response to an Impermanence, draw a card. Maybe we're committed. The Extreme Session will draw every time we activate a Punk in the field for up to twice per turn. We do not attempt to get negated here with the Imperm. Draw a card after searching for the Foxy Tune. Foxy Tune, summon for the deck, which will be a draw 2. 1, 2, they got the evenly matched now. Again, draw 2. Maybe we could deck them out. We are going to attempt to activate the effect to draw a card. We're going to try to negate the Rising Card before it activates summon for the deck. Wagon is not going to negate, but it will draw a card. We draw 1, we draw 2, we are negated. Can we extend from here? Jim, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened, mate. Well, thank you for playing. Ryzeal, apparently, of course, still top tier.